Hey comrades, it's the white and black anarchist here. How are you folks doing? And time for another video, which I shouldn't have said that because I've never done a video before. Anyways, I just recently saw Cameron, the Libertarian Socialist Rants guy, post this video on his Facebook wall about this libertarian girl who was very critical of socialism, but didn't really seem to know what socialism is, and also acted as if the audience are imbecilic kids who are very impressionate and will just, easily pick up what she's saying. I kind of feel like that was her plan, but anyways, let's get to the video.
What's the difference between socialism and capitalism?
Easy. Socialism is the workers' control over the means of production. Capitalism is privately owned means of production which lead to hierarchies which benefit no one but the person who's on top of the given hierarchy.
In socialism, people wait for bread. In capitalism, bread waits for you.
Oh, or that. See kids, if you believe in direct democracy and workers' rights, then there will be no bread for you. Good argument. Also, the USSR is really socialist in name only, but more on that later.
Socialism isn't cool, guys.
Oh yes, please explain why workers' control over the means of production is not cool. I'd really like to hear that.
Making everyone equally poor is not progress.
Where in the fucking hell did you get that definition? Oh, right. There are a lot of irrelevant and untrue definitions to socialism, like a central government that nationalizes the means of production, but this one takes the cake. Socialism. We all equally poor.
49% of people aged 18 to 29 have a positive view of socialism. Yikes!
Yikes! Why only 49?
I've never understood how young people who tend to be anti-authority, let people control their own destiny, peace and harmony, would be for socialism.
Because there are forms of socialism as well as communism that are anarchist or libertarian, not in the American way, such as libertarian socialism, anarcho-syndicalism, etc. Socialism doesn't inherently need a state. In fact, Marx himself believed in a stateless society. He believed in proletariat dictatorship, but that gets misinterpreted.
A centralized top-down system where the government decides? Even if you have the smartest leaders, the best leaders, people with great intentions, the economy cannot be centrally planned. The economy, there's all these signals going back and forth from consumers to producers about increasing and decreasing supply and demand. Giving control of that to politicians and bureaucrats is insane. They cannot possibly have the knowledge to run things.
Socialists don't want to give that control to the government, they want to give it to the workers. Do I need to spell it out for you? Workers can run things without a boss because bosses are inherently useless and authoritarian, and their authority is not justified in any way. All they do is make profit off of exploiting others.
That's why there were bread shortages in the Soviet Union, and soap and shoes and butter and. In 1989, Russian President Boris Yeltsin went to a US grocery store. His mind was blown.
All of these choices, how is this even possible?
Well, you let people buy and sell goods and respond to incentives and price signals, things tend to work itself out.
Okay, here's the thing. The Soviet Union is not, I repeat, not socialist. What's the one key component of socialism? Workers' control over the means of production. In other words, crushing hierarchies through collectivization. The USSR simply nationalized those hierarchies, replacing the boss with the government, but it is not fucking socialism.
Why is capitalism treated as this evil thing?
Yes, because hierarchical structures in society where profit comes before anything should be treated as something good. Fucking obvious.
Less than a third of millennials have a positive view of capitalism. Capitalism is just the economy controlled by the people as opposed to the state for profit.
If by people you mean a very small minority that owns the means of production and exploits the shit out of everyone else, then I guess you're right.
Profit is evil.
Profit is not an evil thing. It's a reward for producing something that people want to buy.
The problem is the people who produce the product, e.g. iPhone or some other smartphone or whatever, for example, don't make much profit. However, the bosses who do nothing do get their reward for exploiting people in inhumane conditions. Never mind that.
Exchange is voluntary in a capitalist system. People buy an item because they value that more than their money, and both sides are made better off by the exchange. If something is overpriced, the producer will have to adjust the price to reflect market value or face going out of business. Too many people blame the problems in the current system on capitalism, which is absolutely frustrating.
I'll just leave this here.
Capitalism is the separation of economy and state. Wall Street bailouts, corporate handouts, those are the opposite of capitalism. Do not blame capitalism on them.
No, it is not. While historically socialism has existed in a stateless society, such as the Spanish Revolution, capitalism has never, ever existed in a stateless society due to the fact capitalists need a government to protect their private property and rights to exploit. Historically, there has never been a stateless capitalist society, so shove that information back up your donkey.